Thanks to our ground crew, you can take off right from the hotel.
Call our toll-free number and see why America's waking up to us.
Call 800-325-2525 for reservations at Days locations nationwide.
I mentioned a cool down, not so much for the Northeast and New England sections of the country, not yet. You're going to have to wait for a day or two, but here's the leading edge of it, some showers and thunderstorms in advance of a storm system that will be moving out of the plains and the Great Lakes. Here's a look at our forecast. Low temperatures 38 in Portland to 52 in New York City, 49 in the nation's capital, and temperatures again out ahead of the cold front. Quite mild for this time of year. Wouldn't be surprised to see some records in here with high temperatures 60s and 70s, not far from 80 in the nation's capital. We'll see widely scattered showers and storms, some of these to be locally heavy, particularly down along the Gulf, and then out ahead of that cold front there could be some severe thunderstorms later on in the day. Otherwise, we'll show you forecast lows, warm and somewhat muggy as we work our way on westward here. High temperatures tomorrow still all above normal for this time of year, southern plains on eastward. Further to the north, some snows could be getting going pretty good across parts of the Red River Valley of the north. Here's the potential severe thunderstorms out ahead of the cold front. Overnight low temperatures and highs to look like this. Chilly in Bismarck, still quite warm in St. Louis in the warm sector of that storm system. Far west looking real nice with lots of sunshine. Some scattered snows though, parts of the northern Rockies. Overnight low temperatures for these cities of the west to look like this. These should be the highs.
If you choose to finance or lease your new GM vehicle someplace other than GMAC, you might find yourself waiting in line instead of out hugging one. GMAC. Nobody wants to get you into your new GM car or truck faster.
GMAC. Available right at your GM dealer.
Stay tuned for this evening's weather, coming up right after your local forecast.
We will show you a little bit of action into the Rocky States, heading all the way into the northeast. Some light rain around Messina, New York. Line of thunderstorms developing into central and northern Missouri, back up into the Great Lakes region around Chicago, Illinois. They're reporting some light rain. Down toward the southland, warmer, moister air pumping up from the Gulf of Mexico is triggering those thunderstorms there. And we have had reports of showers and thunderstorms around Baton Rouge, Louisiana, all the way over into New Orleans. Up around Laurel, Mississippi, they are hearing the thunder this hour. South of Meridian and Jackson, a line of showers moving off toward the east at about 25 miles per hour. Looks like it will be heading over into Alabama before the evening is over. Up toward Columbia in Missouri, some scattered showers and thunderstorms lighting up on the radar scan north of Springfield, Illinois, and all the way up toward Chicago. A few light showers there. You may find some delays as you're headed out and about to do the traveling this evening. Watch out for possibly slickened roadways due to the rain as well.
Once again, we saw lots of record warmth today, counting now up towards, well, 34, 35 cities setting new records for the day, but some weather changes rapidly to take place as a lot of places to cool off fast in parts of the Midwest and Plains where we've seen temperatures 70s and 80s. Next couple of days, we're going to be heading on down towards the 30s and 40s. Atlanta, Georgia, though, if that's where you'll be traveling, it's going to be nice with a high temperature of 74, but an increasing chance of some showers and storms. We'll go ahead and take you on into places like Boston, where it'll be partly cloudy. Near record high of 68 degrees. You're out ahead of the storm system. You're going to be in the warm air. Chicago, some showers. No record highs of 73 like you saw today. And some of those storms could be getting on the heavy side. As we check out Dallas, Fort Worth, partly sunny skies, high of about 83 degrees. Mile High City, Denver, and Colorado enjoys a high of about 54 degrees with some partly cloudy skies. Los Angeles, some hazy sunshine after some morning low clouds and fog, a high of 73 in the afternoon.
This is Weather Watch.
Cam Carmen and Vince Miller with you as we head towards Tuesday.
We look to see some changes in the forecast, and some places going from one extreme to the other, and some areas sitting in the deep freeze by midweek. Let's check it out and see what's going to be happening. Vince will be back with the forecast. First of all, though, we'll tell you currently what we've got across the nation. Starting with this afternoon, the record high temperatures, a whole list of them. Again, Savannah, Georgia, tying the record at 83 degrees. Chicago, Illinois, 73. They're seeing some rain in the last hour. Buffalo, New York, 68, and around the Northeast tomorrow, some more records could be set. Temperatures have cooled off for the evening, but still pretty warm into the middle Atlantic states. 60 degrees in Pittsburgh, PA, 67 down toward Atlanta. Beautiful 76 in Phoenix, Arizona, but it gets cooler as you head on up toward the north. About 31 degrees in Rapid City, South Dakota, and that's the case over into Duluth, Minnesota. This area is one place we're going to be watching for much cooler temperatures to come on down and sink southward the course of the next few days. Cloud cover now. We've got low pressure moving eastward and another trough of low pressure scooting on through the northwest. That's spreading some rain and some snow in the higher elevations, but it's warm and great down toward the south. In the southwest, a little sloppy in the southeast with some rain showers and thunderstorms developing, especially into Louisiana, heading up into Laurel, Mississippi, and a line of thunderstorms just getting developed from Columbia, Missouri, all the way up toward Chicago where they've got the light rain. We'll be back with that forecast as promised in about 30 seconds.
Well, Cam just showed you the current weather, and we'll go ahead and show you where this weather is heading. It's heading the cold air through Milwaukee right now. Just got a statement out of the Milwaukee Weather Service office that as the cold front moved on through and the wind shifted, the temperatures dropped some 10 degrees in 5 minutes. Well, that's what's going to be heading southward. Not a bitterly cold Arctic outbreak. The mother load still essentially staying on up north in parts of Canada and Alaska, but nonetheless, some of you folks who saw temperatures 60s, 70s, and 80s at times over the last several days to be doing well to make it out of the 30s in some instances as we head on through the next several days. We'll go ahead and show you our forecast for midday tomorrow, and we're going to see a system get itself better organized here over the Plain States, and by later on in the day, could be some pretty good showers and storms out along and ahead of this frontal boundary. Already some showers and storms, some the Chicago area on down towards Quincy, Illinois, and southwestern there, and could sort of get a double dose of that as we work our way on through Tuesday. Potentially, yeah, we may well be looking at some severe weather in this general section of the country. Some widely scattered showers and storms, western and central sections of the Dixie states, and some snows starting to get a bit on the heavy side, perhaps, as we work our way on through the day for parts of the upper Midwest and the Red River Valley of the North. Best chances of significant precipitation essentially along parts of the Gulf Coast, inland a ways, and maybe two out ahead of that cold front. We'll have to wait and see how that works itself out. Best chances of significant snowfall parts of the Rocky Mountain west into the Cascades of Washington and Oregon, and potentially late in the period Red River Valley of the North, and the upper Midwest. Overnight low temperatures certainly showing the contrast across the fronts here, with still mild tropical air streaming northward up the Mississippi River Valley and Ohio River Valley sections of the country. Highs tomorrow still very mild. In fact, more near record warmth, particularly up here in parts of the Northeast and New England, 60s and 70s. Not bad for this time of year. Jet stream holds the key to the cool down as we sort of put a buckle in the jet. Come on in, jet stream. There you go. And this is going to cool things down as we work our way on through the next several days, where we won't be looking at any record warmth in places like Goodland, Kansas, or Burlington, Iowa, for example. You'll just simply notice some big temperature changes. Show you what we mean as we take a look at our forecast highs, 20s and 30s and 40s instead of the 60s and 70s and 80s, and slowly the warm air is suppressed southward towards the Gulf and Florida and South Texas. Showers and storms here, some pretty good snows up in the Great Lakes. The system sweeps on eastward, but another fast-moving system moves on into the plains as we work our way on into Friday. Tell you what, city-by-city forecast next on the agenda.
It started in Japan in 1907 and became one of the most respected automobile companies in the world, Daihatsu. Introducing Daihatsu for 1990, now available at your local Daihatsu dealer. The economical three-door hatchback, the distinctively styled four-door sedan, the exciting Rocky 4x4 soft top, and the dynamic Rocky hard top. Daihatsu, one of the most respected names in Japan for over 80 years. Daihatsu.
See your nearby Daihatsu dealer today for a test drive.
Dale Earnhardt on winning.
You race on the track, but races are won or lost in fifths. Down here, there's no guesswork, no margin for error. One mistake and you're out of the running. It all comes down to two things: good people and good parts. Between this Goodwrench crew and General Motors parts, I figure we got the best of both.
Get the goods under your hood. Genuine GM parts from Mr. Goodwrench and your General Motors dealer.
See your local General Motors parts dealer for genuine GM parts.
Enter the drive-in, drive-out sweepstakes from Michelin and the Weather Channel, and you can win a new Jeep Cherokee or other great prizes. Enter at your participating Michelin dealer and get your free tire check while you're there.
They say drink plenty of fluids. Swallowing's total pain.
Introducing new advanced formula chloroseptic with the power of phenol. It penetrates nerve endings to work on contact, so it gives the fastest relief. And nothing lasts longer. New advanced formula chloroseptic works fastest, and nothing lasts longer. Now the fast, long-lasting relief of advanced formula chloroseptic comes in new Cool Mint spray. Also, try new Cool Mint lozenges.
And the business travel forecast is sponsored by United Airlines, rededicated to giving you the service you deserve. Come fly the friendly skies.
Yeah, I sure can. We have just about hourly flights here.
6th of October, United flight number 725.
Sure, I'd be happy to help you with that. And your flight number?
Arriving in Tokyo at 5:10 p.m.
Both animals are also confirmed.
You're welcome. Thanks for calling.
Business class.
Yeah, but I think you're
in a world fraught with phone frustration, people who fly come to learn of a singular exception, where wishes are granted with efficiency and grace.
Delafria Stokowitsky? Is that with an I or a Y?
United Airlines. Come fly the friendly skies.
United Airlines, rededicated to giving you the service you deserve. Come fly the friendly skies. For reservations, call United Airlines or your local travel agent. 1990 Weather Guide calendar and the Weather Folklore calendar are now available. Call toll-free to order yours. Just $8.95 each plus $3 shipping and handling per order. Call now.
Local forecast is sponsored by Air Guide Compasses. When accuracy is on the line, don't settle for less.
Years ago, Air Guide introduced its first dashboard compass. Today, Air Guide compasses are America's best sellers and set the standard for accuracy and reliability. Introducing the revolutionary Air Guide Autobahn, the world's most sensitive vertical compass, and our sleek new R2 model with a distinctive low-profile design. Air Guide, when accuracy is on the line, you can't afford to settle for less.
When you're out on the slopes, most any thermals can keep you warm. The real test is when you're stuck up here in the wind and the cold. That's why we use a new thermal fabric called Thermax to stay warm. Thermax keeps you warm by keeping you dry. Right, it actually helps draw sweat away from your skin. So even if you work up a sweat on the slopes, you stay warm and dry on a chair.
Thermax, because keeping dry is keeping warm.
Look for Thermax at this fine store.
Well, lots of records once again today. Cam Carmen will show you where some of those records were in just a few moments.
Well, I am stoned. Hey, Ma, you got the real ocean spray.
Your family knows the difference between Ocean Spray Cranberry Juice Cocktail and the others.
Wow, she got the real ocean spray. That boy, Mom.
Ocean Spray knows how to give you all the goodness of the cranberry and the most refreshing taste. We've been doing it longer than anybody else.
You gotta meet this
Honey, you got the real ocean spray.
Yeah, but she got the cheap chips.
Next time you bring home Cranberry Juice Cocktail, make it the real Ocean Spray.
Is cat box odor a problem?
No. Yeah.
Try Fresh Step, the only litter that releases tiny odor controllers every time your cat scratches or steps. Fresh Step, freshens with every step.
Them lemons they roll, them lemons they bounce. I even seen a lemon drop. Them lemons smell so fresh and pretty, like lemon fresh Clorox. Them lemons smell so fresh and pretty, lemon fresh Clorox bleach.
Here's Marnie Stanier.
When do you use your ceiling fan? In between seasons when you can get by without the air conditioner? Well, that's all, then you're missing out on energy savings. In the hottest weather, you should run the fan along with the air conditioner. The direct airflow creates a cooling wind chill effect on the skin. A 78-degree thermostat setting feels like 72. So with the fan on, you can raise your thermostat, still stay cool, and save energy. The fan uses no more electricity than a 100-watt light bulb. During winter cold, use the fan together with the heat. Switch the blade direction to counterclockwise. The reverse airflow forces warm air that has risen to the ceiling back downward. The room warms evenly and drafts disappear. So whether it's 32 or 92 degrees outside, turn on your ceiling fan and turn on year-round energy savings. I'm Marnie Stanier for the Weather Channel.
Buy any original classic model contour chair, and I, Art Linkletter, will send you your choice of a fabulous 19-inch Panasonic color TV, microwave oven, or VCR.
But don't buy a contour chair for one of these.
Get one because it's the most restful, healthful chair you ever relaxed in. Contour chairs help to relieve low back pain, poor venous blood circulation in your legs, edema, and swelling of the legs.
Call toll-free and get full details on our fabulous offer.
I chose the Panasonic Color TV.
I took the VCR.
I got the microwave.
Hello. I'd like to have your catalog and certificate mailed to me free.
Certainly, sir.
See how easy it is? Call for your free catalog and certificate right away.
Call 1-800-858-3300. That's 1-800-858-3300. Toll free. Call 1-800-858-3300.
The Weather Channel presents the 1990 Weather Guide Calendar. It's filled with beautiful and unusual photographs, plus phenomenal weather events described in detail for each day of the year. And there's plenty of room to make notes for every day of the month. Order your 1990 Weather Guide Calendar today. Call toll-free or send check or money order to Weather Calendars, Post Office Box 2030, Cameron Park, California, 95682. Calendars are just $8.95 each, plus $3 shipping and handling per order. Or save shipping charges and get yours now at Target stores.
Let's check on this evening's weather. We'll take a trip across the country with the temperatures first of all and show you where we have some unstable air. Temperatures are a little cool tonight. Spokane, Washington, they've got some rain, 37 degrees. 35 for Boise, Idaho, and only 31 in Great Falls, Montana. We see some precipitation on the map. Some of it is in the form of rain, some is in the form of snow. Otherwise, chilly temperatures, but this is just an indication of what is to come the next couple of days as a cold blast of Arctic air comes on down and chills you down from sections of the Northland all the way into the country's midsection. Satellite picture, well, that shows us a spring-like pattern on down toward the south. Some thunderstorms rumbling on through Louisiana, heading into Mississippi and Alabama before the evening is over, and also around Columbia, Missouri, northward to around Chicago. You might find the delays if you're traveling out of O'Hare Airport tonight. Low pressure causing some snow to fly back up into Canada. Otherwise, mainly the snow is over the Rocky states. There's the rain on down toward the south, but that stationary boundary separates the cooler air from the warmer air. It's very warm and moist down here where we've seen quite a bit of record high temperatures lately. Very cool back into the high plain states and the Great Lakes region, and we will see some big changes here. We'll focus in on our winter weather update, and first of all, I'll tell you show you a picture of the big scope and take a look at a contrasting weather pattern here. Record cold up into Alaska. We've been showing you all week how frigid it has been there, but down into the United States, the lower 48. A whole slew of records once again indicated by the little red dots here. Well, they fell by the wayside into the Great Lakes region today and throughout the upper Midwest, South Bend, Indiana, even some down throughout the southeast. Here's a look at a list of those. Savannah, Georgia to Chicago, 73, again, where we've got some rain right now. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 69 degrees, but things are already cooling down there. Speaking of cooler weather, snow in the forecast up toward the Canadian border. Some of the snow may be heavy at times, Tetons back into the Bitterroot chain. And if you're traveling, you may find the wintry travel through the morning hours and the afternoon spreading on eastward to the arrowhead of Minnesota. And as far as the evening goes, take a look at the possible snow that may fall into the high plains and the Great Lakes. We'll take a look at your local forecast now.
take you on through Tuesday, we will see some big weather changes. Not so much yet in the northeastern and New England sections of the country, where actually you'll enjoy another mild day with, well, easy to take lows to start out, and definitely very warm high temperatures, some record and near record warmth with reading 60s and 70s for the metro areas. Further to the south, though, we'll see plenty of Gulf moisture stream northward. Here's potentially some severe thunderstorms out ahead of a cold front, so an active weather day, one of the more active ones we've seen in some time. Lows still mild, southern plains into the southeastern Florida, and high temperatures still generally well above normal once we work our way north out of Florida, where these temperatures are still pretty typical for this time of year. Here's the frontal boundary setting off potentially some big thunderstorms and perhaps some big snows developing, particularly the latter part of the day up here over the northern plains and upper Midwest. Here's a look at our forecast low and high temperatures for the Midwest and adjacent lakes and plains. For the west, the far west, pretty decent weather, fair amount of sunshine as a matter of fact. Forecast low and high temperatures. Here is what they should be looking like for these major cities of the west.
Should your name be on this envelope? It should if you or someone you love is age 50 to 80, and it will be addressed to you if you call now for this important information. Free information about a life insurance policy designed especially for men and women age 50 to 80. Life insurance with no physical examination and no medical questions. Because of a limited benefit period, you cannot be turned down for any reason. And your premium will be $6.95 a month and will never increase. Colonial Penn Life Insurance Company wants to send you the important information in this envelope, and it's free. So if you are age 50 to 80 and thought it would be difficult to buy life insurance, shouldn't you call now? Here's the number.
For free information in the mail, call 1-800-533-9800. This is a free call, 1-800-533-9800.
Michelin Drivers Report. And Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires. If you're headed up to the Plain States tonight or into tomorrow morning, be careful. We have had reports just within the last hour of some snow into southern areas of North Dakota. Also, as we take a look toward Tuesday morning, we expect the snow to move eastward from the Rocky States, where some light snow is falling now, heading all the way over into western Minnesota. Interstate 94 may become a little rough as the day wears on. Also back along Interstate 90 that extends from Montana into North Dakota. Otherwise, the snow may slip on down toward Rapid City, South Dakota, into northern Wyoming and into the Cascades. Pretty short-lived snow event here, but we could see some of that add up in the higher elevations, Washington and Oregon. And as far as the rain goes, mostly confined where that stationary boundary is lying. Some of the rains may be heavy here.
Honey, I think it's time we got a new set of Michelins.
Couldn't we save a little on a cheaper brand?
Well, our last set of Michelins got over 60,000 miles.
We've got to watch every penny now that Becky's going away to college.
Yeah, but you know there's one thing more important than putting Becky through college.
What's that?
Making sure she gets there.
Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Find Michelin tires at this dealer near you, because so much is riding on your tires.
Stay tuned for this evening's weather, coming up right after your local forecast.
Most most of the country continues to be dry, but there are some exceptions. In fact, we could add a little bit more green here into parts of southeastern North Dakota, where we've seen some snow develop during the past hour, just south of Jamestown to south of Fargo, North Dakota. Snowing lightly right now in Kalispell, Montana. And this scattered line of showers and thunderstorms has been developing just out ahead of a cold front. In fact, as that front moved on through the Milwaukee area a bit earlier this evening, temperature cooled down some 10 degrees in 5 minutes. We'll check out, well, a compilation, if you will, of a couple of local radars showing you some of the showery, thundery weather, most of which is just northwest and north of New Orleans, moving to the northeast. Those showers and thunderstorms left upwards to an inch of rain in parts of that metro area. Showering, thundery right now up towards Laurel in Mississippi. Here's a scattered line of showers and storms from parts of the Chicago metro area to just south of Quincy, Illinois, to just northwest of Columbia, Missouri. Some of those storm tops have been up to about 30,000 feet or so. And finally, we'll show you a little bit of the snow, but mostly mountains here, ground clutter.
We're so glad you could join us here on the Weather Channel. I'm Cindy Pressler, and Bonnie McLaughlin will be joining me in just a bit. Coming up this half hour, a very cold Arctic air mass is on its way to the south. It'll be crossing the Canadian border into northern United States sometime by Wednesday and Thursday. That will also bring a chance for snow into the northern plains, maybe up to a foot. Let's take a look at some better, though, conditions for tomorrow. Atlanta, Georgia, we can expect a chance for showers, a 20% chance tomorrow afternoon with a high of 74 degrees. Still not too bad. Boston, partly cloudy, still eking out another nice day of 68 degrees before we have a frontal system moving in. Chicago, showers. It's raining there right now tonight, a little bit of light rain. Your high on Tuesday should be 56 degrees. Dallas, Texas, partly cloudy, very warm. Another high into the 80s, record-setting heat, 64 for the low, 83 for the high. Denver should be fairly nice, 54 for your high. Partly cloudy conditions, 37 degrees tonight. Temperature will drop down to. In Los Angeles, hazy sunshine again, high of 73.
is Weather Watch.
Hello, Cindy Pressler and Bonnie McLaughlin. You're watching the Weather Channel, and Bonnie, I think we're going to keep an eye on some very cold air coming down from Canada.
We certainly are, and I'm certainly glad that I live down here in Atlanta, where it's not going to get very bitterly cold at all. Let's take a look at what is happening currently now from coast to coast. In the eastern United States, it seems to be rather quiet, but you are picking up some light snow up around Caribou, Holton, and Limestone, Maine. In the northwest, a little bit of rain around Bellingham and Quileute, Washington, snow into the Cascades, and in the lower Mississippi Valley, a few showers. Now here's a look at Lake Charles, Louisiana. Earlier today was a bit on the cloudy and the damp side, but the temperature did seem to move on into the low 80s, and that is still unseasonably warm for this time of year, regardless of the fact that there were a few clouds around, and it looks as though those showers are certainly going to continue. As we take a look at our national radar, we do have showers and thunderstorms right now across the lower Mississippi Valley. Some of the thunderstorms are pretty much on the strong side over south central Louisiana, moving on towards the southwestern portion of Mississippi. These are all tracking off towards the northeast at anywhere from 15 to 25 miles per hour. Now stay tuned for a look at your local forecast. Well, we call it the good evening forecast. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be all good, especially weather-wise. In the northwestern United States, those brisk northwesterly winds are going to be ushering in that cold air out of Canada. And for a brief time, it looks like northern Minnesota into North Dakota, even across northern Minnesota, you'll have a taste of that Arctic chill. Certainly the snow is going to be there. In fact, in some locations, especially across the UP of Michigan, between now and Thursday, up to a foot of snow is possible. Across the lower Mississippi Valley, the moisture is certainly laden in the air during the next 24 hours, so look for showers and thunderstorms to develop. The west coast will have a brief respite as that high pressure builds in and dries things out across Washington and Oregon. In the northeast, the frontal system will be pushing through rapidly, bringing with it a shift in the winds as well as the possibility for some snow. The scenario really doesn't change too much from the early morning hours through the late afternoon hours. Please keep in mind with the brisk northerly winds, we will see some snow drifts as well as some wind chills that are uncomfortably cold. Here's a look at our precipitation potential. The lower Mississippi Valley will see the most rainfall, or at least they have the possibility of seeing the most rainfall, up to an inch there. Rainfall amounts will be on the light side elsewhere. Snowfall, though, that is really going to be piling up, especially in the Bitterroot chain and across the upper Midwest. And this is between now and late tomorrow night, or actually, I guess I should say early tomorrow evening. Here's a look at the overnight lows. Teens and 20s, just to give you a taste of that Arctic air, with the overnight lows in the southeast only bottoming out in the 60s and the 70s. As we take a look at the forecast highs for Tuesday, they're not going to be warming up once that Arctic air becomes firmly entrenched, but we will see 90s in Texas, 80s in the southwest, and 80s across Florida. Let's take a look at our look ahead and our jet stream right now, showing you first of all that the cool weather will certainly stay to the north and the weather systems will continue to follow that general path. The cold weather will be dipping down into Kansas. Look for some falling off readings there, but across the southern tier of states, conditions remaining relatively warm. As we break it down for you day by day, here's a look at Wednesday's highs. 20s and 30s across the upper Midwest. Keep an eye on those 20s. They will be sliding towards the east, while 70s and 80s across the Ohio Valley into the Tennessee Valley. Not much change for Thursday, but the 20s are slipping across the Great Lakes region, and that is where you can anticipate some pretty hefty snowfall amounts through the end of this week. Friday's temperature still in the deep freeze around the Great Lakes into the northeast, where we will see some rain on Wednesday, snow across the lakes region, and not much weather going on in the west at all. A few showers making their way back into the northwest on Thursday, and here's a look at your Friday. Look for snow showers across the upper Midwest and the Great Lakes. Stay tuned. We'll be taking a look at your forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
It's the creamiest, the dreamiest, Velveeta shells and cheese. It's the creamiest, the dreamiest. Forget the powder, please. Only wheat tastes like this. Velveeta makes it the creamiest. Velveeta shells and cheese.
Black & Decker presents the new Power Pro Dustbuster Plus. With its extra power setting, it'll pick up wet, dry, messy. The list is endless. The new Power Pro Dustbuster Plus Vac from Black & Decker.
New Glade Carpet Potpourri is like the crisp sounds rising from a carpet of fall potpourri. It touches your senses. Glade Potpourri Carpet Deodorizer. Fresh, light fragrances of country wildflowers, apple orchards, and garden fruit. It's a little touch of country. A fresh, new way to help eliminate pet, smoke, musty odors. New Glade Potpourri Carpet and Room Deodorizer. A little touch of country.
Beautifully illustrated, the 1990 Weather Folklore Calendar is now available. To order, call 1-800-451-0303. Calendars are just $8.95 each, plus $3 shipping and handling.
I was putting in a lot of late hours at the office. The pressure was really getting to me. My doctor told me if I didn't get some exercise, I'd be a prime candidate for a heart attack.
Nordic Track.
I had a terrible time losing weight after my second baby, and dieting wasn't enough.
Nordic Track.
I really wanted to enjoy this time with my grandson, but I didn't have the energy to keep up.
Nordic Track duplicates cross-country skiing. It tones, develops, and conditions all the major muscles of your upper and lower body. Independent research shows users prefer Nordic Track more than 6 to 1 over exercise bikes and rowing machines. So it's a great way to get in shape, manage stress, and help control weight.
Nordic Track was just what I needed to work off stress.
With Nordic Track, I was able to lose weight and still eat regular meals.
Now I've got more pep.
For complete details on Nordic Track, call 1-800-432-9900. That's 1-800-432-9900.
I don't think you'll be heading to the beach tomorrow across Boston or maybe even down to New Jersey. Coastal areas will have gusty winds anywhere from 25-mile-per-hour wind gusts. That's very windy. And on down the coast, still very gusty, about 15 to 25-mile-per-hour wind gusts, including the Great Lakes states. We have a storm system pulling on in. That's going to bring the chance for showers and, of course, clouds to go along with it. Therefore, sunshine potential looks pretty pathetic for tomorrow across Michigan, even into western New York and Pennsylvania. Sunshine, though, along the immediate coast because the front will not quite make it there yet by tomorrow. Southeast, just about the same. Here comes the clouds, here comes the rain. Maybe into Florida yet where those water temperatures are still into the 80s and 70s. You could head down there, maybe head to the beach. Winds light, about 5 to 15 mile per hour wind gusts, a little bit gustier though out here to Texas coastal areas. West Coast, gusty winds for Northern California, also the coastal areas from Washington down to Oregon. Also Southern California looking good tomorrow. Want to head to the beach there, you'll have plenty of sunshine, maybe lay out on the beach. You don't want to go in the water. Water temperatures are too cold. After your local forecast, we'll be back with the business travel forecast.
Discover card actually pays you cash back for every charge.
I hope you like this.
It pays to Discover.
Cut! My lips are dry. Don't use plain petroleum jelly. Blistex is better. It contains moisture to relieve dryness faster. It has 2 medications to relieve discomfort.
This doesn't. For dry lips, Blistex ointment is better.
The business travel forecast is sponsored by United Airlines, rededicated to giving you the service you deserve. Come fly the friendly skies.
Send up a crow's foot. Give me an Applejack.
There's a place in the friendly skies where not everyone's so friendly.
Stop. Hold it. I need 3 hours minimum. Check it out.
Over 9,000 mechanics of United Airlines work here.
Give me a mini grinder.
They're picky, fussy, stubborn. But if you fly, they're the best friends you'll ever have. United, rededicated to giving you the service you deserve. Come fly the friendly skies.
United Airlines, rededicated to giving you the service you deserve. Come fly the friendly skies. For reservations, call United Airlines or your local travel agent.
The Driving to Drive Out sweepstakes from Michelin and the Weather Channel. We drove in for a free tire check or driving out with a chance to win a new Jeep Cherokee, and there's some great Stover vacations too. You can enter here at your Michelin dealer. Or what do they do, Dad?
Just send a postcard with your name, address, and cable system to Michelin the Weather Channel Drive-In Drive-Out Sweepstakes, Post Office Box 724554, Atlanta, Georgia 30339.
My dad is so smart.
The 1990 Weather Folklore Calendar from the Weather Channel, one of the most sought-after calendars every year, is now available. It's filled with beautiful illustrations and timeless weather folklore on every page, and there's plenty of room to make notes for every day of the month. Order your 1990 Weather Folklore Calendar today. Call toll-free or send check or money order to Weather Calendars, Post Office Box 2030, Cameron Park, California 95682. Calendars are just $8.95 each, plus $3 shipping and handling. Order your Weather Folklore Calendar now.
Stay tuned for the Days In 5-Day Business Planner, keeping track of storm systems, hazardous weather, and poor road conditions that may affect your business travel. The Days In 5-Day Business Planner coming up in just a few minutes right here on the Weather Channel.
It is 16 now past the top of the hour. We have certainly seen some very record warm temperatures across the southern tier states, even on up into the Ohio Valley. But quite a contrast is the record cold across Alaska, even into the Yukon territories of Canada. Those temperatures have been well below zero. Dawson, Alaska, bottomed out. Actually, they started the morning at 51, 52 degrees below zero. And they did warm up a bit, but it was still well below zero, so I'm not sure that it felt any different to their skin for those of you who live in Alaska. The nice thing is there will be a brief respite, but then the Arctic air moving in once again. Record high temperatures across the 48 contiguous states. Savannah, Georgia topped out at 83, 73 degrees for Chicago, Illinois, and Cleveland, Ohio topped out at 72. Right now, Chicago is sitting at 66, 76 degrees for Brownsville, Texas, 71 right now in Phoenix, Arizona, and around Casper, Wyoming, 37 degrees there, 27 up in Caribou, Maine, where the clouds have certainly rolled in. A little bit of light snow is being reported there. Clear skies from the Virginias, though, all the way down to the southern peninsula of Florida. Here's a look at the Northeast with that warm air overriding this frontal system. We are picking up some rain around Messina, New York. Some freezing drizzle as you head into central Maine, but then where the air is definitely cold enough to do it, we have some snow there. Heading on down towards the south and east from Texas all the way over to Louisiana and moving into Mississippi now. Showers and thunderstorms, they are all tracking towards the northeast. The cold air is certainly moving in behind that frontal system up around Dickinson and Bismarck, North Dakota, reporting a little bit of light snow. More clouds hugging the northwestern coastline, even on down towards the coastline of California. Move inland, some low clouds across northern Arizona as well. But high pressures in firm control, so look for dry weather there. But light rain is being reported right now around North Bend and Hillsboro, Oregon, as well as around Quileute, Bellingham, Washington, and Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. The light snow in Cody, Wyoming, also around Glasgow and Kalispell, Montana. Here's a look at the radar coming out of the lower Mississippi Valley. This is Jackson, Mississippi, on over towards Meridian, and then on down towards Hattiesburg, picking up some rain in this area, also some thunderstorms, and then around Lake Pontchartrain on down even towards Atchafalaya Bay, looking at a little bit of light rain and some thunderstorms there. All of this is tracking off to the north and east anywhere from 15 to 25 miles per hour. There's also a possibility for some strong thunderstorms to develop in the nation's heartland tomorrow and some strong storms down in the lower Mississippi Valley. It was a soupy day across Lake Charles, Louisiana today, and it looks as though tomorrow you can anticipate more of the same. Cindy. We're looking at a very chilly day coming up by the end of the week. The folks in North Dakota and Minnesota also up to a foot of snow is expected. We'll take a look at that five-day business planner right after this.
Is cat box odor a problem?
No. Well, yeah.
Try Fresh Step, the only litter that releases tiny odor controllers every time your cat scratches or steps. Fresh Step, freshens with every step.
Facing the world with a cold sore can be very embarrassing, so I don't put up with it any longer than I have to. I use Campho-Phenique Cold Sore Gel. It stops the pain and it speeds the healing. Campho-Phenique Cold Sore Gel helps me face the world.
Stay tuned for the day's five-day business planner. America's waking up to Days Inn's hotels, suites, and day stops. Forecast now for Tuesday. Oh, we've got a lot of white on this map. What does white indicate on the Weather Channel maps? Snow, obviously. The little green blobs are the rain. We're expecting some moisture to get pulled up from the Gulf of Mexico right along this frontal system, shooting those showers up into Chicago, where they're getting a little bit of rain even tonight, and moving on to the east, some scattered rain mixed with snow into the northern portions of Maine. Caribou, Lime, Limestone and Holt, Maine have all had light snow tonight, and more snow for Montana, even into western North Dakota and South Dakota. Temperatures have been so warm, but it's going to begin to cool off now. That Arctic air dipping down from Canada, fortunately, it will be modified Arctic air. We're not going to see those temperatures that they're getting tonight, like 60 degrees below zero up there in the Yukon Territory of Canada and Alaska. And the West Coast, pretty nice, though. By late in the day, high pressure comes back into Washington and Oregon and clears things out, but temperatures will be a little bit cooler as well. Teens, 20s, 30s. We'll find those 30s dipping all the way into New Mexico and Arizona tonight. Tomorrow's highs, another nice one for southeastern Georgia down into Florida, the Carolinas, Texas. You'll even find some 90s down there around Brownsville and Corpus Christi. Wednesday, things are changing now. By Thursday, look at that. It drops out. The jet stream pulls itself to the south. We'll have a trough develop there, and that'll bring those colder temperatures in. Back to more normal type conditions for this time of the year into Saturday, the weekend. Bundle up. Anywhere from the UP of Michigan, Wisconsin, and Minnesota, even the Northeast is going to be chilly. Rain along the fronts. This one moves quickly on to the east. Some snow left behind. We could pick up to a foot of snow into North Dakota and Minnesota by tomorrow and to the next day. A little bit of rain comes in the Pacific Northwest with the next approaching system, and that moves quickly into the Plain States, colliding with that colder air, which should produce some snow up here. Even the Northeast will get a little bit of the white stuff, and rain into Texas again. It'll stay with us. That flow from the Gulf of Mexico brings the moisture in and some scattered showers by Saturday, so the weekend could be on the wet side for the Ohio Valley and the Northeast. Now, your local conditions. Call about Days Simple Super Saver program. Restrictions do apply, and Simple Super Saver rooms are limited, so call now. Bonnie.
Thank you very much, Cindy. Coming up in just a few minutes, we'll be taking a look at that regional forecast from coast to coast. Will we see record highs again tomorrow in South Bend, Chicago, and Cleveland?
This is a book of world records. It includes the tallest building, the biggest animal, the fastest car. But there's something they've missed. The world's fastest growing hotel chain, Days Inns. We have nearly 1,000 locations across North America with great rooms, pools, lounges, and with our great prices, you'll want to come back again and again. Who knows? Stay with us often enough and you might get in here before we do.
Call our toll-free number and see why America's waking up to us.
Call 800-325-2525 for reservations at Days locations nationwide.
The $64 million question is, will we see record highs in the Ohio Valley tomorrow? And the answer is no. And you probably already guessed that. It was way too good to be true for a very long time. In the Northeast, the clouds are going to be rolling in. And as you can see, during the morning hours, the precipitation will move in as well. Light rain as that frontal system advances on towards the east. Portland, Maine will start the day at 38 degrees. Washington, D.C. at 49. And they'll warm up to 77. So that's not going to be too terribly difficult to handle. In the lower Mississippi Valley, the rain and the thunderstorms are going to continue. And the air is going to be moist and juicy, just primed for severe thunderstorms to develop around northeastern Oklahoma right on through St. Louis, Missouri. Temperatures will start at 61 degrees for Memphis and Jacksonville, Florida, coming in at 55 in the early morning, but warming up to 82. 87 for San Antonio and Memphis at 75. The snow is going to be falling from Bismarck, North Dakota, right on up into extreme northeastern Minnesota tomorrow. This is where that Arctic air is going to come in, and that definitely is going to provide just the right ingredients to get the snow to start piling up. The severe thunderstorms are possible all the way up towards Chicago, Illinois, where the early morning temperature will be at 50 degrees, 21 for Bismarck, and they'll only warm up to 36. Along the west coast, sunshine is moving in as high pressure dominates. The snow, though, from the Bitterroots all the way across into the Dakotas, temperatures are going to be in the 20s and the 30s, but they'll warm up into the 40s and 50s in the northwest.
Since nearly every home has a VCR, Sony thought it was time for the VCR to leave home. So we had two choices. One of them we do not recommend you attempt on your own. The other we recommend for everyone. It's the Sony Video Walkman, an amazing portable VCR that records and plays back anything, anywhere, including pre-recorded movies on a built-in TV screen. The Sony Video Walkman, because video is too valuable to be left at home.
Stay tuned for this evening's weather, coming up right after your local forecast.
It's raining in the Pacific Northwest tonight. Light rain falling at Quileute, Bellingham, Washington, also over to Coeur d'Alene in Idaho. Then you get into that colder air, turns into snow. We have snow in Sheridan, Wyoming, also around the Missoula, Montana area. A little bit of snow there, some snow showers. And then even in the northeast, we're getting snow around Limestone and Holton, Maine. But thunder showers, could be a couple of them in there down here around Louisiana, Mississippi, beginning to move now into southern Alabama. Actually, the showers and thunder showers are moving north at about 20, 25 miles per hour. We're getting rain at Meridian, Mississippi, down here around the Mobile Bay area, around New Orleans, Louisiana. There are some scattered showers there. Let's head north, where we do find a little bit of light rain developing now along that frontal system that passed through Milwaukee earlier this evening, dropped the temperature 10 degrees in about 5 to 7 minutes. So it's a powerful frontal system. Chicago is picking up a little bit of light rain, and by tomorrow we can expect more of the same moving into the area. Scattered showers and maybe some snow to go along with it, of course, in northern Minnesota and North Dakota.
It is now 30 minutes past the top of the hour. I'm Bonnie McLaughlin, working alongside Cindy Presler. It looks as though the Arctic air is going to be just briefly touching extreme northern Minnesota during the next 2 to 3 days, and that cold air is going to be slipping right across the Great Lakes on towards the northeast. But what's going to be happening during the next 12 to 24 hours? Well, here's a look at Atlanta's forecast. The chance of showers. An overnight low of 54 will give way to a high of 74. Partly cloudy for Boston. Overnight low of 42. High temperature tomorrow 68. It should be 56 with showers in Chicago, Illinois for Tuesday. Partly cloudy in Dallas with a high of 83. Denver is looking at partly cloudy conditions. An overnight low of 37, but they'll warm up to a toasty 54. Ha! Let's take a look at Los Angeles. Hazy sunshine for you, a high temperature of 73 after an overnight low of 59. And it will be partly cloudy in Miami, an overnight low of a balmy 74, warming up to 83. New York City looking at partly cloudy conditions tomorrow with a high of 72.
This is Weather Watch.
Good evening, I'm Bonnie McLaughlin, and this is Cindy Presler, and we certainly have some changes coming in the weather, especially if you live in those northern tier states.
Actually, this is the time of the year where you expect snow to be flying around and so forth, almost into some winter-type storm conditions, but you don't want those temperatures of 60 degrees below zero like they're getting in the Yukon. That's terrible up there in Canada and Alaska. Unfortunately, the air will be much modified by the time it gets down here to the lower 48. Current temperatures now in North Dakota. We've got a quite chilly up there, 25 degrees around Bismarck. It is snowing also in Dickinson, North Dakota. So the moisture is beginning to pull into the northern plains, and by tomorrow we're expecting this whole area to be covered up by some snow, some of the white stuff, maybe 1 to 3 inches generally, maybe a little bit more in some areas, maybe 3 to 6 inches possible. Still 66 in Atlanta, Georgia, 54 in New York City. And here's your record highs. I love to talk about nice warm weather in November. 83 degrees in Savannah, Georgia today, 73 in Chicago. Cleveland hit a record high or tied it. And here's a look at our current surface map. There's the frontal system that moved through Milwaukee earlier this evening, dropped that temperature down quickly from the 60s down into the 50s and turned the winds around from the northwest. So you have this in store for you through the Ohio Valley coming up tomorrow. But the southeast today was absolutely gorgeous. Birmingham, Alabama is a good example. Everybody was outdoors enjoying the beautiful temperatures. Can you believe the high today? 78 degrees. The normal high is 64 for this time of the year. So that's really nice shirt sleeve type weather. We have a developing storm system off to the west. The Birmingham area should be moving in tomorrow, and a chance for showers, and of course those temperatures will drop down a little bit as well. We'll be right back after your local conditions. We'll take a look at the extended outlook. There's that rain I told you about just entering into the Alabama area coming up tomorrow. Comes ahead of a frontal system that is plowing its way through the Ohio Valley, and snow left behind it up here into Montana, North Dakota, and Wyoming. It is already snowing at Sheridan, Wyoming, and places in Montana and North Dakota. By late in the day on Tuesday, look how quickly everything moves on to the east into Minnesota, Wisconsin, and the UP of Michigan. Rain along an area of low pressure, Chicago, Cleveland, Detroit. You can all expect rain tomorrow. Locally up to about 1/4 of an inch is what we expect as the two frontal systems kind of collide, and we'll get the precipitation kind of hooked up together. A lot of moisture being fed up from the Gulf of Mexico. You could find 1/2 inch of rain down in that region. Snowfall 1 to 3 inches, maybe higher amounts 3 to 6 in some spots, the highest of elevations of the Rockies, also into northern Minnesota and northern North Dakota around Grand Forks. Tonight's lows, teens, 20s, 30s, dipping all the way down into Arizona, New Mexico. Then you get on the south side of that front and it really warms up fast all the way north to Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Temperatures only dropping in the 60s tonight. And tomorrow's highs will stick with the 80s and the 90s into Texas, Florida, the coastal areas of the Carolinas. Hilton Head, South Carolina would be a good spot to go to tomorrow if you want to play some tennis or golf. Gorgeous golf courses over there. But cool temperatures will stay up there in the northern plains. Now for the week ahead, the look-ahead forecast with the jet stream. Anytime you're on the north side of the jet stream, that's where the coldest air stays. The south side of it, very settled and mild. By Friday, we'll dip that jet farther to the south and bring that cool air, the modified Arctic air, all the way down into Oklahoma, Kansas, and looks like Cape Girardeau. You're warm tonight, but you're going to be cooling off by the end of the week. Let's have a look now at those temperatures. 70s, this is as of Wednesday, and by Thursday, there's the colder air. Those 50s and 60s come down to Macon, Georgia, Birmingham, Alabama, Dallas, Texas. It'll be cooling off there. Friday, more zonal flow. Everybody getting back to normal now for mid-November. As far as rain, that goes on to the east with a cold front, some snow left behind up there into Wisconsin and Michigan. And then by Thursday, we'll find the approach of another frontal system in the Pacific Northwest. Bellingham, Hoquiam, Quileute, Washington can all expect a little bit of rain. Snow up there to the north, and those colder temperatures way to the northeast. That'll be into northern New York State, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine can pick up some snow and rain into southern Texas. Bonnie?
Thank you very much, Cindy. In just 1 minute, we'll be taking a look at your local forecast. And then just in case you're headed towards Sydney, Singapore, or Taipei, we'll be taking a look at the Pacific Briefing. So please stay tuned.
Here's a very different kind of orange juice. Tropicana Pure Premium. Made with absolutely no water added and no water taken away. So no other major brand comes closer to this than this. Now, don't you want to try it? Tropicana Pure Premium. Nothing added, nothing taken away. You just can't pick a better juice.
It started in Japan in 1907 and became one of the most respected automobile companies in the world, Daihatsu. Introducing Daihatsu for 1990. Now available at your local Daihatsu dealer. The economical 3-door hatchback, the distinctively styled 4-door sedan, the exciting Rocky 4x4 soft top, and the dynamic Rocky hard top. Daihatsu, one of the most respected names in Japan for over 80 years. Daihatsu.
See your nearby Daihatsu dealer today for a test drive. Enter the Drive-In, Drive-Out sweepstakes from Michelin and the Weather Channel, and you can win a new Jeep Cherokee or other great prizes. Enter at your participating Michelin dealer and get your free tire check while you're there.
When it's morning in New Orleans, coffee lovers head for Brennan's Restaurant for that all-important first cup of the day. This morning, we're secretly switching their fresh brewed coffee with dark, sparkling Folgers crystals. Can these people tell the difference?
He's a monster before he has coffee in the morning.
I'd like to be around while this was being brewed.
The smell would wake me up in the morning, this big cup.
It's Folgers crystals.
Oh, really?
Is that right? Instant. Makes me feel like I'd find my keys in the morning if I'd have a cup of this.
Folgers crystals. Start your day with the coffee rich enough to be served in America's finest restaurants.
The Pacific Briefing is sponsored by United Airlines, rededicated to giving you the service you deserve. Come fly the friendly skies.
Send up a crow's foot. Give me an app check.
There's a place in the friendly skies where not everyone's so friendly.
Stop. Hold it. I need 3 hours minimum.
Check it out. Over 9,000 mechanics of United Airlines work here.
Give me a mini grinder.
They're picky, fussy, stubborn. But if you fly, they're the best friends you'll ever have. United, rededicated to giving you the service you deserve. Come fly the friendly skies.
United Airlines, rededicated to giving you the service you deserve. Come fly the friendly skies. For reservations, call United Airlines or your local travel agent.
As you can see by looking at the Pacific, here is China underneath, or Japan rather, underneath all of the rain there. The frontal system will continue to move off towards the east. High pressure we're building in behind it. So look for some breezy conditions, but at least improving conditions. A few scattered showers over south central Australia. Singapore 78 degrees right now. Osaka at 54 and Midway at 73. Darwin 87. Melbourne 63 with the showers to the west. Now look at some other Pacific locations.
Watch the next United Airlines Pacific briefing for weather in Hawaii, Alaska, and the U.S. West Coast.
The 1990 Weather Guide calendar and the Weather Folklore calendar are now available. Call toll-free to order yours. Just $8.95 each, plus $3 shipping and handling per order. Call now.
This local forecast is sponsored by Daihatsu. You'll think the world of Daihatsu.
It started in Japan in 1907 and became one of the most respected automobile companies in the world, Daihatsu. Introducing Daihatsu for 1990. Now available at your local Daihatsu dealer. The economical three-door hatchback, the distinctively styled four-door sedan, the exciting Rocky 4x4 soft top, and the dynamic Rocky hardtop. Daihatsu, one of the most respected names in Japan for over 80 years. Daihatsu.
See your nearby Daihatsu dealer today for a test drive.
2 out of 3 home fires start in the kitchen. Get the kitchen fire extinguisher from First Alert. It's specially designed for the kitchen. First Alert, because your family comes first.
Gee, sounds awful, Bob. It's no day at the beach, Steve. Sore throat, cough. Try one of these.
Sugar-free Nice showers your throat with medicine for icy, cool relief.
Oh, cool. Feels better. Guess it's back to work for me. Yeah.
Put your throat on ice with Nice.
Rain will be moving into the southeast coming up tomorrow. We have a cold front pushing on. It looks like Lake Charles, Louisiana, which as a matter of fact, we have video from Lake Charles coming up very soon. We'll show you the rain moving into the area.
The Nordica 997 Cup.